Welcome back to Broadway grosses, and this week we have some very interesting Broadway grosses. A lot of shows increased and a lot of shows decreased. Let's get into it. My name is Andre Sofrasia. Make sure to like, sub, and comment, and let's get right into the video. Up first, we have the controversial 1776, which performed to 76% capacity, which was down from last week's 88% capacity, but obviously it's limited engagement, so it doesn't really matter. A Strange Loop went from 88% capacity to 84% capacity, but the average ticket did increase, so it went from 641 to 656,000. A Strange Loop is closing, but I am glad it's staying in the $600,000 range, and will end hopefully on a strong note. Almost Famous went from 90% capacity to 93% capacity and staying in the $600 range for 6 performances. Hopefully it's off to a good start, but I'm not entirely sure. But I personally don't think it will last that long. Beetlejuice continued to maintain $1 million, going from 82% to 78% capacity, and is also closing. Funny Girl went to 100% capacity versus last week's 98% capacity, and is at 1,696,000, which is very close to 2 million, and I definitely do think it will cross the $2 million mark pretty soon, maybe in time for Thanksgiving. The average ticket is stupidly expensive at $173, and a top ticket of $599. That's like less than half of $1,000. Hadestown is not doing great, going from 97% to 96% and in the $783,000 overall gross. Again, I think it will close very soon. I don't know if it will make it to its May extension, but I definitely do think it's the next show to close. Hamilton stayed at $2 million with 100% capacity. Into the Woods maintains its $1 million mark with 71% capacity, which was down from last week's 78% capacity. But again, it's doing very well. And there's some rumors that James Corden's going to be coming into the Woods, and I am all for that, and I will definitely see it again if that's true. I know a lot of people don't like him, but I think he's amazing. Kimberly Akiyembo, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, played to 6 performances and a very respectable 91% with 300,000. That's kind of very similar to a Fun Home and a Strange Loops run. And on the message boards, people were kind of concerned that the show wasn't selling well, and it isn't, and the ticket prices are stupidly expensive. But kind of looking at the advances, I think once reviews and word of mouth, it will probably be, A Strange Loop awards contender, and will eventually win the Tony for Best Musical, I'd say, because it's a pretty weak season, and probably run through the end of 2023 or close in 2022 like A Strange Loop does, because I definitely do think it's got a much broader appeal than A Strange Loop, but it's definitely like a Band's Visit Fun Home-esque type run. Moulin Rouge is performing to 99% versus last week's 99.86 and posting respectable numbers. But again, if it goes past that $1 million range, it will 100% close next year. Six continues to do very well with 97% capacity, which was up from last week's 95%, going from 213,000 overall gross to 225 overall gross. The Book of Mormon, $1 million and 97% capacity, and people are saying the show's going to close, and again, I wouldn't be surprised because it's been around for a long time, and it might not be making enough money and this economy is a lot more cutthroat, but it'd be very surprising for it to close. I'd be very surprised, but I'm not doubting it. The Music Man did $2 million, which was down from last week's $3 million, going from 99.45 to 99.65. But the average ticket dropped, which is why it had a lower gross. The Phantom of the Opera should have announced closing a long time ago, because it's went from 100.92 to 100.86, another $1 million, $1,603,000. I mean, this show is going out on a super high note, a higher note than Christine's high note. Yes, I just did that. Great pun, because so many things are closing, and it is rather sad time for the Broadway industry that so many shows aren't doing well and that they're closing, but I am glad that the shows that have announced they're closing are doing so well at the end, and that they're going to end on a very high note, and hopefully this will lead to more better work, like the Karate Kid musical, or Griswold's Vacation, or The Devil Wears Prada the musical. Yeah, this is going to be very rough. Anyways, that's the video. Make sure to like, sub, comment, and I will see you in the next video. See you soon.